Hello, everybody. Welcome to the ZED Education Podcast, and we are rolling in the heart of Zambia. First of all, we would like to say thank you very much for the great support, the feedback. The previous episode, we received a lot of calls. I received a call from somebody from the UK who said, keep up the good work in promoting education, and we're grateful for the support that you're giving us. Well, today, I have a guest, and let me say, we have a guest, a man who, if you're comfortable on your seat, today you're going to sit on the edge of your seat. Because one of the things that he believes in is that if education does not liberate a graduate, a student, then it is not education, regardless of what you call it. Furthermore, he believes that if education is not modeled against what God's plan is, then it's just a joke. Today we are honored, and I am honored to be joined by a man who has been in the classroom, both in the primary section, in the secondary section. He has had experience in management level with organizations such as Plan International. He boldly believes that if education is not modeled after God's original plan, then regardless of what you choose to call it, it is not true education. Our guest today, he's an experienced business development consultant. He's the author of 7 books, and he's a respected, renowned businessman. And I'm honored because I met him out of this country giving a whole full, what do you call it? A keynote speech at an education expo. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, today we are joined by the CEO and the Chief Executive Officer and the founder of Build Zambia 2064. Drum roll, please. We have Dr. Joseph Mushalika. Doc, welcome.
Thank you, and thank you for that. I didn't know that I have so much on my shoulders.
No, you have so much, and this is a condensed version of you.
All right.
Just on your name, are you just Joseph Mushalika, or do you have?
Well, Joseph Chabalika Mushalika. That completes me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chabalika.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Well, I mean, my father comes from that version of languages which are not very different from Bemba.
Okay.
So Chabalika would be like light.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Doc, would you like? We have tea. We have water. We don't have vodka yet, but at least we have those. Please, anytime you feel like having any, the team will attend to you. I've known you from church circles, business mostly, enterprising. But before we go into what we want to do today, I would like to really find out on who Joseph Mushalika is. I remember the very first time I saw you, you were speaking. I'm like, who's this man? And so today, I'm going to squeeze you to just get out who this man is. And after you tell me who you really are, I want to start from your days, the first time you went to a Catholic school.
Okay.
Because I know that's where a great story starts from. Yeah. So who's Joseph Mushalika?
Well, I mean, I love to call myself a very ordinary Zambian.
Okay.
With wonderful experience, both in good times and hard times.
Okay.
I was born to a man who was I love to call him stubborn, my father, because he was very adventurous. He was one of those people, even in the early days with very little education, he was very adventurous. And I think it is from his adventurous life that I picked out something, because early on in his life, working as a plumber, he decided to quit because his Italian boss kept talking about, why do you love working for other people? Why can't you work for yourself? So he left and went to work on his small farm in Mungure, which I now call home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mungure here, not far from 10 miles.
Yes.
The famous 10 miles on Great North Road.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so my foundation is that I came from a home in my first 5 years of life. a home which literally had everything. You know, you knew you'd have breakfast, you knew you'd have sneakers, you'd have tropicals for playing in. We knew we'd have all that. But when I was getting to 6 years, and my father moved to that village, he came back to Lusaka to collect his pension, and he had built for us a very small structure made of grass down and up. And he kept telling us, we were very young that time, that he was preparing to build us a normal house. You know, he called it a normal house. I think it was just about 3 days. Luckily, my mother is alive, so she still narrates the story, and so it's still fresh in my mind. 3 days after he collected his pension, that hut caught fire. You know, and everything was reduced to ash in a matter of minutes, including the pension.
No.
Yeah. So I think it was because that pushed me to be where I am today.
Okay.
So
So it had a purpose.
So yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Now I believe so.
Okay.
So we became poor, extremely poor. You know, where the last clothes you have are those you were putting on before the fire. You know, and the last food was what you ate before the fire. You know, the last blankets, literally everything. You know, so we became extremely poor, and we were now forced to engage into what you now call child labor. You know, participating in helping people harvest their maize so that they can give you something to eat. You know, heading other people's cattle so that they can plow for you. You know, I've gone through that. I have gone through that, you know. And what we knew as normal meals changed. You know, we began to eat not because we were happy, but we ate because we were hungry. You know, we ate because that was all they could provide, you know. I still remember a time when my mother competed effectively with goats picking okra in the fields.
Really?
Yeah, you know, because that was the only relish we could afford.
Yeah.
You know? And what changed my life is that, I don't know for what reason, I developed a habit of watching aeroplanes. You know, when planes are coming from South Africa or wherever, they actually pass through Mongolia.
Yes.
You know, and then Heroes and then airport.
Yeah.
So at that early age, I just developed this love of seeing the flying objects, you know. Every time I would see a plane, even if it was flying at midnight, I would hear the sound.
And you know that's the plane.
Luckily, our house had no strong door. It was just a sack or a cloth. So just push it and go and see the plane go. You know, I lived through that. Fortunately for me, my mother was very inquisitive. She still is. She's old now. And she wanted to know why I liked looking up and watching those moving objects. So I asked my mother a question in response to what she asked me. I asked her if there were people
In there.
in there.
How old were you?
I was 7.
Oh, okay.
You know, I asked if there were people there. And then she told me, yeah, there are people. And then my next question was, what kind of people? I mean, I was looking at ourselves. How do you sleep on a sack? How do you eat anything that comes? How do you just have no hope for anything? And there are people who can afford flying.
Yeah.
Even at that age, at that question, are they normal human beings? I mean, what makes them so different
from us? Yeah.
So my mother said, look, she gave me 3 categories. Number 1, these are very educated people. I'm happy this is an education podcast.
Thank you.
You know? These are very educated people who have gotten high-paying government jobs or private sector. So they move around in planes, okay? And the second category, she told me, these are politicians, government leaders. You know, these fly. And the third category she gave me were business people. And at that tender age, I looked at the 3 categories and wanted to fit myself into one of them.
Okay.
So I chose education.
Okay.
You know, and I told my mother, look, one day you'll be sitting here and a plane will pass here.
And I'll be in there.
I will be in the plane. You know? And my mother said, but how? You know, she was laughing, but how? I told her, look, I'm starting school. That's the year I started. I'm starting school and I'm going to make sure I get so educated that I fly. You know?
So that was your sole motivation.
My sole motivation was, look, if people can fly, it means life can be better than what I'm going through.
Okay.
You know, and for me, that was critical.
Okay.
To this day, my elder brother will be celebrating his birthday this Friday. He was very, very, very influential. He kept telling me, are you serious you want to fly? I told him, yes, I want to. And at that time, there was nothing physically evident that I could be headed in that direction because every sign of poverty was on my body. You're talking about no shoes, some borrowed shorts from somebody. If you had to look at things that come with poverty, we had lice even, because things were tough.
Things were bad.
Things were bad, very, very bad. Now, it's nice to testify. And that's why I always tell people, don't be the same throughout. Don't be born with nothing, live with nothing, and die with nothing. So be born with nothing, live with everything, and die with nothing, like Job.
Yeah, so that's a good cycle, at least. You had nothing,
live with something, then die with nothing. So I love that. And so my brother asked me, but how? I told him, look, whatever the teachers are going to tell me, my aim is to get educated. So if you ask who I am, when I started school, my mission was nothing to be a teacher, to be a lawyer, to be a doctor. No, it was to fly. How? I didn't know. But all I knew was that if I go to school and do well, I'm going to fly. So my mother has told me stories. I still remember, though, that one of the days it rained so heavily when I was in grade 1. It started in the evening and rained throughout the night. And we all received a warning, no one is going to school today because the roads are flooded and you won't find anybody in the school. I remember as a small boy asking myself, so if I don't go to school today, my journey towards flying will be affected.
He's dying.
And when I tell people, be passionate, be purposeful, I draw lessons from what I did as a small boy, So I ran away from home. My mother noticed me. I was a few meters away already. And she started chasing after me. She kept shouting, stop, stop. And look, to me, today I can say the noise of the plane was louder than my mother's voice. So I ran, and she ran behind me, and that's why that old woman, I still love to sit with her and get those stories. Until I go to the school. Interestingly, Namnunga Primary School in Mungule here in Chibombo, that day there were only 3 people in the school. The head teacher, Mr. Peter Mwemba, he's still alive, myself, and my mother. There was no teacher apart from the head, there was no pupil apart from me, and there was no parent apart from my mother. And the head teacher just asked, but how have you come to school? Then I couldn't tell him everything. I just said, look, I can't just miss school. So my mother said, look, he's a stubborn boy. Then the head said, no. Sit down. Young man, little boy, why have you come to school? That's when I explained to the head teacher that, look, my life mission is to fly. And my mother told me that educated people fly. So the head teacher at that time said, look, I'm going to give you homework. Mathematics, English, and Chitonga, so that you don't miss flying. Man, I went home happy.
Satisfied.
Very satisfied,
Yeah.
So from there on, of course, I passed grade 7, went to secondary school, St. Paul's.
Yeah.
St. Paul's.
And that's where I want to...
Mulungushi.
So St. Paul's.
Yeah.
Because I know St. Paul's, I think, has influenced your philosophy of education. Yeah. So when you went to St. Paul's, you were received by 3 Catholic priests, if I'm not mistaken. Yes.
The brothers, the Marx brothers.
Yes. And I know you remember their names.
Yes.
There's something that they said when you got there.
Yeah.
And can you elaborate more on how did you receive that information as a young Joseph?
I think the critical thing is that I went to St. Paul's still reeling from the remnants of poverty, I was carrying, my bag was a version of a sack. It had no zip, you had to tie it on top. And my mother escorted me, So we went together by train, spent the whole night on the train, up to Kabwe and got on a Land Rover to Mukonchi and dropped off around the Mondake area to go to St. Paul's. So when I got there, a number of my friends were carrying these good suitcases. They were carrying, you could see they had everything. But at that time, I think I had 2 pairs of trousers. The black trousers, which was uniform, was too big and I didn't have a belt. I think I had 3 shirts, a small bottle of Vaseline, which was supposed to last the whole term. Now, the first man I met, Mr. Chewe, was the head teacher, but the deputy was Brother Julio Rivers, a Marist brother. Second day, he took us to the the poster is still there. I was there last week. Labor omonia vishint. Which means hard work achieves everything.
Okay. So that's like a school motto.
That's a school motto. Yeah. Labor omonia vishint, Hard work achieves everything. So these brothers came to us and said, look, you have all come here from different homes, different environments, but we are here to model you to be what you are supposed to be. And we believe as Marist brothers that hard work achieves everything regardless of who you are and where you have come from. Yeah. So here where you have come, there's no one who is from a rich family. There's no one from a poor family. You are all here for transformation. The next thing, they said, part of the transformation journey is that at St. Paul's, we work as much as we can, never to buy what we can produce. That has remained my principle. We work so hard that we don't buy what we can produce. So Brother Julio said to us, look, if you eat shima from maize, we need to grow the maize. If you eat vegetables, we need to grow them. If you love fruits, oranges, lemons, oranges, we need to grow them. If you love chicken, you need to keep the chicken. And so from that time they told us, look, you will be in class to learn, but we'll also give you time to work. And what you work on, you will eat. So that philosophy to me was like a game changer. First of all, they made me believe I was not wrong to believe that you can transition in life. You can move from your current situation to the next level.
Okay.
And for sure, that's what happened. Got into class, we had children of ministers, MCCs those days. We had children of members of parliament, and they were us, the poor, But they treated us so equally. We ate the same food. We interacted, this love for each other. And up to now, I don't think there is any other school with alumni that has connected as us.
Your intake?
Not just our intake. We have people that were in 1973, before I was even born, PS for Western Province. We have people like Chirukutu, the Commissioner General of...
Land?
No, Commissioner General of Correctional Services.
Oh, okay.
Those are St. Paul's people. Mr. Pesi Chinyama of Smart Zambia. Those are St. Paul's people.
Oh, Mr. Chinyama?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Honorable Nzovu, the former Minister of Water, that's St. Paul's group.
So there's a huge alumni.
It's a huge alumni.
I see.
You will not believe it. We still meet at funerals. We still have all these WhatsApp groups. We still talk. And so they managed to mold us that way, to create that kind of community. And apart from that, they also inculcated this hard work culture. This culture of, look, anything you want, work for it. Anything you want to achieve, hard work achieves everything. So went through St. Paul's. The challenge again was teachers would come and ask, what do you want to be after school?
That question.
And my friends had it easy. I want to be a teacher. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a doctor. When it came to me, it was a sentence. Anything that will make me fly.
That is what I'll be.
For me, it was an obsession.
Yeah.
It was a very serious obsession because I wanted to fly. So,
and what I'm thinking, I'm seeing you in Zoom. Yes, checking in.
Yes.
Okay, I see.
Yes. So, you saw me checking in
the flight.
Flying again next week. So, so we got into that. But when I finished grade 12, just a summary of what I am now.
Yeah.
Of course, I did well, but now the fees demanded by universities, colleges were higher. And my family had not yet fully recovered from the loss. So my father told me, look, I don't know what we are going to do next. Because for me to go through school, grade 8, 9, 10, I had to do things like charcoal burning. I was a charcoal burner.
Really?
I had to sell rape at Soweto. There's no corner of Soweto market that you can introduce me to. I had to sell rape on my head, shouting in the community, rape. We did all those things. And my father was getting tired.
Yeah, by that time, energy
do I need to go back to charcoal burning to send you to college? What happens, So fortunately for me, I was accepted in many places, Evelyn Horn, Unza, but they all wanted fees which I couldn't afford.
Was there bursary? Was that an option that you knew
bursary
of, or you didn't
was
know?
there, but for me, I think the course I wanted, I needed to raise 25%.
Okay.
Which was also impractical, But then I was invited by a friend to go for teacher training interviews. They were being held at Kablonga Girls. His father owned a tractor in the village, so we drove from 04. By 8, we were at Kablonga Girls.
Well, there were interviews.
There were interviews those days.
I see.
Teacher training. But when I got there, you needed to fill in a form.
Okay.
Your name, your grades, and everything. And then they would call you in. They called in my friends except me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, if you believe in miracles, here's a miracle. So I asked the man who was calling out everyone. I said, look, I came with these friends and they've gone in except me. They said, oh yeah, we looked at your paper. The interviews we are doing are for primary school teachers and your grades are too good.
For primary.
So we can't allow you to sit the interviews. Because we know you're going to take someone's place and then you run away. Go to Unza or Koseko or Nkrum. He didn't know my situation.
Yeah.
So I insisted. I told him, no, look, I'm serious. He said, no, you are not sitting the interview. I didn't sit the interview.
You missed that interview?
I missed that interview. Everyone went in except me. And when my friend had finished, we drove back to Mongole. I didn't sit the interview. December. A teacher, a Mr. Mwembat Namnunga, told me, we have found your letter from the post office. I said, what letter? I said, we don't know. Come and pick it. So I went to pick the letter. What was written inside?
Accepted.
Congratulations. You passed your interview.
I see why he said we believe in miracles. The interviews never attended.
I never attended any teacher training interviews. I never sat any.
I see.
But here I was with an acceptance letter. And now, why I love to talk about resource mobilization.
Yeah.
It was 2 weeks before opening.
Oof.
I have no coin. I share blankets with my brothers.
Oof.
How do I go to this college? The fees were fair. Now, as fate would have it, whether it's God's intervention, I was taking a walk. Then I met this man driving a tractor right in Mongole. And this man says, young man, I want to ask. I said, oh, yeah, please go ahead. He said, you can even speak English. That's good. I said, yeah, I can. I said, yeah, I'm looking for charcoal. You're looking for charcoal? I said, yeah. How many bags? He said, any number of bags. I want charcoal. I said, okay, what we do, let's meet here tomorrow, but let's agree the price. So we agreed.
You had charcoal?
No, I didn't. So I told the man, price? I'm going to sell you charcoal. I think it was 4 kwacha that time.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a bag at 4 kwacha. So yeah, that's fine. So we meet tomorrow.
For the sake of context, which year is this?
1994.
Not
about that. They can't understand that, So, charcoal at 4 kwacha. I said, yeah, 4 kwacha. I was very young, and, So the man says, yeah, fine. And I said, let's meet here tomorrow. The moment he turned, I also turned. I asked my young brother, do you know anyone in this village who has charcoal? And my young brother says, oh, yeah. I know Mr. Banda. He's Andrew Banda. The Mongolian people remember that name. So I went to Mr. Banda. Bambo, do you have charcoal? He says, yeah, I do. I said, okay. How much can you sell it? And the man said, 2 kwacha.
100% profit. Yeah.
2 kwacha. I said, okay, 2 kwacha. Okay, great. Can you allow me to take this charcoal to my place?
And Banda
and
said,
then I'll bring you the money tomorrow. The man laughed. Anyway, then he told me, look, I know you're an honest boy. Get the charcoal.
Oh, really?
So I went, got an ox cart, borrowed some oxen, started moving the charcoal. Moved the charcoal to my place. My mother asked me, what is this charcoal for? I told her, please don't say anything. Even me, I didn't know what was really happening, but let's wait. So I kept the charcoal overnight.
Did you sleep?
It was one of the longest nights, Following day, I started the walk.
To the meeting point.
Around 12, the tractor arrived. The man said, young man, I said, the charcoal is there. Are you sure? I said, yeah, jump on the tractor. Went. Here's the charcoal, sir. said, okay, let's count the bags. We counted. Okay, let's load. Then the man says, okay, you said 4 kwacha? I said, yes, 4 kwacha. So we counted the money for the bags. I had a big sack of money. Then I divided it into 2. You know the reason?
1 for
2 kwacha for Mr.
the
Banda,
other man, yes.
2 kwacha for myself. The bag.
You were splitting from right there.
I didn't want to go with everything there.
Okay.
So I gave my mother, keep this money. Then I took to Mr. Banda. The man was happy. Where did you sell it? Let me give you something. I said, no, it's fine. Don't give me anything. So I went home, counted the money. You know, you'll be shocked. The money was enough to buy me new clothes, new shoes, new blankets, pay fees for the whole year.
You don't say?
Yeah. That's how I went to college.
From Chaco?
From Chaco. Not my Chaco.
Mr. Banda's Chaco.
Mr. Banda's Chaco. I was just an intermediary. But of course, this is why for me, I always say, this God does nothing unless you do something. You've got to practice faith that is very strange.
Stubborn.
Very stubborn.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to do things like, okay, whatever happens.
So, Doc,
yeah,
there are people that will say you do not have the authority to comment on education matters. Were you trained as a teacher?
Now, look, so I went to Charles Lwanga.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And by then, I had already applied to go to ZEP. I was waiting for results. So I went to Charles Lwanga, sat in class. Things were easy for me. I mean, I looked at St. Paul's being a bit more difficult than Charles Lwanga. Of course, it was a Jesuit-led college. I loved the principles of work. They were still there.
Okay.
We were still feeding fish. We were still growing food. Not as intensive as St. Paul's, but it was good. 3 weeks into college, someone comes to me with a newspaper. My name was there. I'm supposed to go to ZEP. Now, going to ZEP as an officer means I'm going to fly. But do I have the money to leave Charles Lwanga and go to Livingstone? No.
For the training, I see.
I've already paid for the fees for the year because I didn't want to waste the money. So I consulted one lecturer, Mr. Shandele. He's still alive. What do I do? He told me, look, just finish the course. But we have already noticed that you are a very different student. I don't know what they noticed, but that's what he told me. We have already noticed that you are a very different student. We don't even think you teach for a long time.
What type of student were you? Were you those students that will challenge teachers by saying there's a better route to answering that? Or you'd question whatever they were saying? You wouldn't just take it to say, you know, there are those kids who ask you questions away from whatever is happening because they're thinking maybe they're bored. What kind of student were you?
I think early on, first of all, I would take in whatever they were teaching. But I was a why student.
Okay. Yeah.
Why are we learning this?
Big why, yeah.
You know why? I remember asking Mr. Mafika, St. Paul's history teacher. I asked him, look, I believe I was created. So when you bring this Homo habilis story,
I'm not buying what you're saying.
why are we learning this?
Yeah.
You know, and no. This is, I said, but look, I was a why person. And
Did that ever get you into trouble with certain teachers?
Yes, especially as I was getting into senior secondary school. I was perceived as being controversial because I remember I was very good at languages. English was one of my best subjects. But I asked Mr. Daka, I mean, who speaks like this? You know, he had just arrived when it began to rain. Hardly begin, hardly.
No sooner than who speaks like this.
I've not met people who
don't use that
despite and so into Charles Lwanga, my biggest problem, which gave me sleepless nights, was the fear of never flying because I'd chosen a teaching career. In my mind, and from what I knew, I had heard very little about teachers flying. You know? My mind went back to my primary school, and all I knew is teachers know every country through the atlas. They don't go there.
Don't go there. Yo.
So I had this problem. Look, The whole idea of suffering through charcoal burning, through selling rape, was to fly. But look at this career. So finished Charles Lwanga. I was best student in my intake. Came to teach. I was sent to Kafue, Chanyanya. And I remember the first trouble I had with my colleagues was to ask them, how long have you been in this school? And how long do you want to be here? And everyone, what kind of teacher is?
You've just arrived and
you're asking, why do you share houses? Why, And I remember Mr. Mnachilemba, he's late now. He was councillor for Kafue. I told him, look, my father would be very disappointed
to find
that I left the village to come and live in a house without windows. Because he'll ask, why? And even the Debs that time, we went through similar problems where I was saying, look, I see something wrong with how teachers are treated, with how you are treating us as teachers, because why? Why are we like this? But to console myself, I became a very good sports master.
Okay.
My team was winning from the village. So I was poached, to come to Munkolo, a school in Chilanga, which was much, much better.
With windows, I'm sure you had windows.
Yeah, a few windows, but still people were sharing houses. I did like the pit latrine arrangement. Then the question of will I ever fly kept coming back.
What was the answer? Your honest answer.
What I knew was, if I don't find a way of leaving the system, I'll not fly. So one way of living was to quickly go back to school. I went to Chalimbana. This is why people question me when I say don't go back to school. But I was young. I was in my 20s.
Yeah, we're coming to that.
So,
oh, you were young.
I was young.
Okay.
I went to Chalimbana. While at Chalimbana, I received an acceptance at UNZA. So I was doing a diploma and a degree at the same time. One was distance, one was full-time.
Full-time.
And unfortunately, or what today I can say fortunately, I was attacked by thieves.
Where?
At Munkolo School, here in Chilanga. I was attacked by thieves in the night, and they took away everything. Literally everything. Similar to my father losing everything in his house fire. And my life had to restart. Luckily, I had church people. Elder Miti was working for Care International. Blankets were quickly organized and everything. But I was unhappy. I forced leave. I told the teacher, give me space. Let me go. You know Henry Ngono?
No.
He used to sing with us. Manex's brother.
Manex. Okay. Yes.
I went to live in his house.
Oh.
My family shifted to live with him. And I went into town to look for a job. So I left government. I didn't resign. I went to look for a job. So one of the days, as I was walking around, near Comesa Market, there used to be a school called Lusaka High School. So I went there. I found a long queue. That day, unfortunately, I had left my papers home. So I was told there are interviews. There's a new Indian couple that has taken over the school, so they're looking for teachers. So I told one of the guys, if you see the person calling people in, please let me know. So Mr. Zulu, he's still alive again. I told him, look, I need to be interviewed. But did you apply? He said, no, I didn't, because I didn't know about this. I said, no, but look, we are only inviting people that applied. So we're arguing between the office and his office. Indians were hearing. Then I told him, you will not regret if you interview me. I can even bring the papers tomorrow.
But interview me first.
Just interview me. So Mrs. Chelapa, they're still in Lusaka here, raised the question, Zuru, why are you wasting time? No, there's this man who is insisting. So the husband said, no, allow him in. So as I was getting in, there was a comment that was murmured, maybe he's not okay. Meaning me. I'm not okay. This guy is not okay. How can he insist to be interviewed? So I went into that interview. They asked me about what I teach, how good I am at what I do. Then I also told them my extracurricular strength, sport and everything. Then the man made one mistake. He asked a question about where I knew school. and would like to attract clientele. So if we employed you, how would you help us do that? Oh. I started telling them what is needed, what makes parents want children to be in certain schools. I taught them the changing trends, that parents are no longer interested in academically excellent learners who are physically useless. They want a combination of skill and academics.
Yeah.
Then I told them, look, if you do this, then you now need to start engaging the parents. So go outside the normal curriculum. So the man was busy writing. Now, you know what I told him? You don't need to write.
Just hire me.
Employ me. I'll do these things.
Yeah.
And the man said, yes, I think you're right. Wait outside a bit. I was waiting outside for 10 minutes. They called me back. Please come with your papers tomorrow and come ready for work.
Sure.
Yeah. So I joined Lusaka High School.
So you transitioned?
No, I was still a government worker, but I got leave.
Yeah, I got leave.
And he went into this private school. One term. Just one term. There are things that I did. I was very stubborn with the Sabbath. It would not convince me to go and work. I was very, very stubborn. Secondly, my learners were always giving these reports of we are doing well. And parents started coming in one term. I was supposed to go back. My leave was finishing. These Indian friends of mine says, you are not going anywhere. We need you here. Look, you are helping us with this. You're helping. I said, look, but I have to go. I'm a government worker.
Yeah.
Getting into the second term, I was given a letter. I was promoted to deputy head. 28 years old. Yeah. So I was the deputy head of Lusaka High School. And this Indian couple told me, we are not teachers. We are business people.
Yeah. And when they see
the title deputy is just formality. You are the head
of the school.
You are now free to hire and fire. You are free to do. The school is in your hands. So those things you told us in the interview,
do them now.
Do them. And the salary went up, I think, by 100%. So I began to work there. But that question,
will I ever fly?
That question. At that time, I befriended Miti Godfrey, very good big man. He lives in Makeni here. He would always come and say, I was in Ghana last week. No, I was in, I was in this. So I got close to him. And some of my friends started questioning how this poor teacher would be sitting very close to a man who is always flying. I would volunteer to escort Miti wherever he was going. I just wanted to hear more stories about the traveling and all that. To cut the long story short, I was given an appointment at church to be an education secretary for the district.
I see.
So I was given an assignment to organize a community in Ichipapa area to build a community school. So I went into that place and started talking to the villagers, talking about how nice it would be to have a school there. Now that was outside my Lusaka High School work. Then Miti came. Elder Miti comes and says, look, you're doing a good job. How is the fundraising? I said, look, the church has no money. So I said, look, I'll talk to Anderson Chiwa. He was ambassador to UK in the Manawasa era. He was working for CARE that time.
Okay.
So I would talk to Anderson to see if CARE can support you. I said, okay, fine. So I met Anderson. Then Anderson says, look, I can't commit. Let us go to the place. I hear you talk to the villagers and confirm if they are ready to offer labor. So we went. I spoke to the village people. I convinced them to mold bricks, to bring sand, to do everything. And CARE approved. They started building the school. Now, Anderson, we became connected. He liked how I did things. A few months later,
poached.
I was informed that Plan had advertised a job. Country Learning Advisor.
I see.
So if anyone is questioning my authority on education, I can tell you that I've been in it.
Yeah.
Okay. So the job was advertised. And Mr. Miti says, look, you need to apply for this job. I said, look, these guys are looking for someone who has a driver's license, Don't.
You don't have.
These guys are looking for a master's degree. I don't have it. These guys, he says, no, look, just work on your CV. Sometimes they look beyond papers. They look at skill and experience.
Competence, yeah.
Competence, they look at those things. So I did my CV. It wasn't much. I think it's 3 pages. It was a simple CV, class teacher. My job is marking the register, and
setting tests.
I didn't even put the Nakando project.
You didn't put?
I didn't put it.
I see.
So Miti got it and said, talk to your friend Anderson. I said, okay. So Anderson looked at my CV and says, no, there are a lot of things you have left out here. Those stories you were telling me about being a sports person, your linkage with the community, your mobilization skills, you haven't put them here.
So to a teacher who's listening to you,
yeah.
do these more mundane duties that they perform in a school matter?
I get shocked when I find a teacher complaining that they've been assigned, because I'm a beneficiary of what it means to be a volunteer. I'm a beneficiary of what it means to give your time, even for what you don't know will yield anything. I'm a beneficiary of that.
I see.
So Mr. Chiwa got my CV and went to panel beat my CV. Where I was saying class teacher, he now began to place me as a manager of learners.
Not just a teacher.
No. Where I was talking about, I helped my school team look for jerseys, and he put it as resource mobilization skills.
So that changed.
My CV to 8 pages. And all of a sudden, even me, I could now feel I did it on myself.
There was a new Joseph.
I could actually feel, okay, so I have this much in me.
Yeah.
All those production unit things I'd written about, he changed them and spoke nicely about them. I hope Anderson will watch this. I would be happy to meet.
Yeah, send him a link.
Then the CV went. And it took months. I was invited for interviews. And in that interview, there was Martin van der Kraan, a Dutchman who was country director. There was Vivian Kondolo, the human resource. Joyce Mulila, who was in charge of programs.
I like how you remember everybody.
I have a lot of respect for these people.
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect for these people, So I was interviewed. Now, again, in that interview, the Muzungu, Martin, asked a question that changed my life.
Okay.
He asked me, Plan is trying to introduce early childhood education in villages. Okay? And the position of country learning advisor is to lobby government to support this. So what would you do to get that happen? Now, I'd been warned by Mr. Miti and Chiwa that before going for the interviews, you should read the education policy, Educating Our Future.
Our Future, yes.
I've read that thing from the
That was Mosokotwane?
Yeah, I've read it from, that was Mianda.
Mianda.
I've read it from
as
the
minister.
preface to the appendix. I know that book cover, page by page. I was also told to read about Plan.
Itself.
And I had done a good job. So I began to explain to Martin how government is of the same view, but they don't know how to do it. And I began to explain to Martin how we should not mistake early childhood education for preschooling. Because early childhood education also has to do with mothers, because it must begin at conception and they should know what to eat. And then I made a statement and said, because early childhood education is about stimulation and nutrition, and it should be seen as a strategy for human development. The man jumped off his
in an interview.
And he says, look, you are so young. And he confessed, you are the youngest person we're interviewing here. Where did you get all this? Then I told him, look, I know what to do. And these things I'm telling you, I know how to do them. So, but how do you get the community? He says, look, I have community mobilization experience. This is, the Muzungu, I repeated my Lusaka High School trick. Look, if you want these things, hire me.
I'm going to choose that somewhere.
Never invite me for an interview.
Do you know what it reminds me of?
Yeah.
That model that you're using is what Joseph in the Bible did.
I'm Joseph, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
7 years of plenty, 7 years. If I were you, I would gather as much.
Exactly. So went through that interview, and Martin told me, look, yeah, you're young, you don't have this, but anyway, let's see what the panel will think. So I left. My Lusaka High School job was ongoing. I went to government and told my head teacher, Mr. Baspiri, that look, give me unpaid leave. Give me unpaid leave because I don't think I'm coming back anytime soon.
Yeah.
You know, so months went. I didn't think I'd gotten the planned job because months kept going.
Oh, I see.
There was no feedback. But one particular day, I think 2 days before opening for the third term, I was busy preparing the timetable, class allocation, you know, who handles what. I was busy thinking HODs, who comes in, where are we weak, you know, all those things. Then I got a call. He said to me, Mushalika, yes, I am. You sat an interview at Plan. I said, yes, I did. Please, if you are anywhere near Lusaka, come. Then I asked, is it another interview? He said, no. We just want you to come. We discuss. So I said, well, I'm around. I got a taxi from Komesa to Kablonga, you know, Kudu Road, Kablonga. Got there. Oh, yeah, we're waiting for you. So Vivian says, look, we scrutinized the panel scrutinized, and we all agreed that we could offer you the job.
Okay.
So we just want you to get the letter, contract, go and read it. If you're happy, come back tomorrow. I got it. First of all, the biggest shock was the salary.
It was miles away from whatever you were receiving.
I began to think this could be satanic. I mean, how on earth
was that a poverty in you speaking?
How on earth do you pay someone such money?
I see.
How on earth? How? Because when I looked at, I could actually see that I could go back to my government school and pay all the teachers.
Wow. That's how hefty it was.
Yeah.
Plus add-ons and all
yeah,
those
you know,
things.
before the rebasing, in school we were still getting in hundreds. Plan was going to pay me in millions before rebasing. In millions.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a huge disparity.
Yeah, and so the other things also, health,
Yeah.
you know,
Insurance.
the insurance, the education, transport provided. Yeah, you even wonder, so what's money for? You know? But here's the shock. I'm on the bus, going back to Lusaka High School. Midway, I think I was getting to Long Acres. I get a call from Plan. What? Was it a mistake?
They picked the wrong Joseph.
Mr. Mushalika, I said, yes. You're on your way home? I said, yeah, I am. Sorry, we forgot to ask one thing. Do you have a passport?
Yeah. Tell me you said yes.
Now tell me, look, 3 weeks earlier, I used to sing in a quartet called Cherubim Voices.
Okay.
We had been invited to sing at Solusi
Zimbabwe.
when they were inaugurating the Rayleigh Hall.
Oh, that hall.
Yes.
Oh,
we
really?
went to sing
Yes,
there.
I've been
We
there.
went with Shiloh.
Yes,
Shiloh
yes,
team,
yes.
we went together there.
Ah.
So because of that trip,
You
I
got
got a passport.
Thank God for the church invitation.
So you guys, maybe you have not had real evidence of God's providence.
Yeah.
I can tell you that if the Bible was still being written, I would have a chapter there.
All things work together for good to they that love the
You
Lord.
know?
Yeah.
So I had this passport with one chidindo on my way to Zimbabwe and another chidindo will come. So I told him, yeah, I do. He said, oh, great. I said, but what is it? He says, no, come tomorrow. Come with your passport. So I went home, finished reading my contract, signed it. Of course, a few friends that I told about this told me, look, are you sure it's safe for you that you should leave a government job?
Job security.
Are you sure it's safe for you that you should go this route? And remember, they have said 3 months probation. If you don't perform,
You lose everything.
You lose everything. Are you sure this gamble, is it good enough? And the power of focus. Whoever was speaking anything different was just a noisemaker. So following day, I got my passport, my contract already signed, left for plan. I didn't tell my Indian employers that
Because I'm wondering to say.
this is what is going on.
Yes.
So I went. Then Vivian Kondolo tells me, look, I think she's MTN HR director now.
Okay.
Yeah, she tells me, look, we have offered you the job, but just when we were leaving yesterday, we received an email from regional office. I said, what's the email about? I said, look, they want all country learning advisors, which is your new position,
to travel
in Egypt next month.
Yo. You even answered my question, because I had a question. When was your first flight?
So, okay. So why do you need my passport? You need a visa. Oh,
Yes.
I didn't even know about visas.
So you need to process that.
Whatever that means. Here's my passport. So since we have given you 1 month to prepare, just know as soon as you come, you'll just be here for a month, you leave for Egypt. Have you ever changed your prayers? Where you now tell God, okay, God, so if Jesus is about to come,
Not
hold on. Because but what I have lived for is
He's
this.
right here. Then Jesus comes.
So no accidents, please. No return of our Lord.
Yeah.
Until this, I want to have a story also. Until this happened. Look, it has taken over 20 years from the time I stood on those grounds in Ngule
To get here.
to point and say, one day, Mama, you'll be sitting here.
And that will be.
And someone will fly there and I'll be one of them. Yeah. So I always tell people, look, if you are obsessed by something, I can assure you that it's just a question of time.
So the question here says, what was your first flight? And
So
you've really
I still
answered.
remember KQ424, huh?
Which seat?
So I joined the plan. Now,
Yeah.
the issue was I had transformed Lusaka High School to a school where now there was demand. Because, wow, I was still young, quite brutal, all lazing around teachers,
Out.
all drunkard teachers not willing to change out. I had introduced a book at the gate, reporting time, knocking off time, strict rules. No teacher asks for food from a pupil, because I found those are things that used to take place. I told the Indians, before you think about your bank account, let's have every necessary textbook
In the school.
here. I introduced St. Paul's rules, prep. Learners have to be here. I introduced extracurricular clubs. I introduced all these things, and these kids were now beginning to see, that education is not just memorizing parts of a skeleton. I introduced all this, and luckily for me, I had read the book Education by Ellen White.
Yes.
And I was emphatic on what it means to educate the head, the heart, and the hand.
Yeah.
It wasn't an Adventist school, but this is what I wanted to see.
That's, ladies and gentlemen, what he's describing is true education. Yeah.
So people began to see results. No absenteeism, no no dodging, no. I asked my colleagues, the Indians, to employ a guard at the gate. No one goes out. I introduced the passes, permissions, including for teachers. There was a good structure now. We went, reconciled with Ministry of Education. They were now coming to inspect and all these things, So how do I tell them I'm leaving? And they were very good to me.
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Chalapa. Excellent people. Very good. So I waited. I told them, look, let's have a meeting. Let's have a meeting. Guys, here is where we are. This is where I found you. This is where we have reached. This is where we are going. So to sustain this is what we need. Then I said, but I have some news for you. Thank you for what you have done for me. I have to move. That was the end of the meeting. You're not going anywhere.
Yeah, and I know. I once worked for an Indian family.
No, they are competent. They are passionate.
Yeah.
You are not going anywhere. Then I told them, look, unfortunately, this is unstoppable. No. Close the office. The meeting will be at home. Come home tomorrow. So following there, I went to their home. Then I explained to them. Then I told them, look, no, has someone offered you a job? I said, yes, but not a school.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no school which can match those conditions.
Yeah.
There's no school. So this is unstoppable, and also it's good for me. But I can assure you of something. I'll support you in the transition.
Mm.
I'll make sure we appoint the right
person. That was good.
Yes, we have kept a very good relationship.
That was good and professional.
I will help you in the transition. Well, even plan when I was leaving, I had to interview who succeeds me.
Mm.
So I'll help you with transition. Don't break the news to the learners.
Yeah.
Yet.
Because they're stakeholders now.
They are stakeholders. So let's make sure the transition is going on well and everything is moving well. And then we can now say, okay, this man has moved on.
Mm.
Grudgingly, they agreed. And I moved. 1 month later, I was with Plan. Totally different environment. Now we're dealing with policy.
Mm.
At that level, country learning advisor, you understand what the education of the country is intended to achieve. You are now comparing paper and practice, and you are now a lobbyist.
Mm.
You are now championing this competence-based curriculum thing. We started a long time.
So you laid the foundation for
we
what?
Know it. Okay. We know it. This early childhood thing you're doing, we started that. The school feeding, production unit in schools, we did all that.
Mm.
We pushed for those things. So fortunately for me, I didn't die. And 5th October, 4th October, I was flying to Egypt on 5th October. Yeah, the longest night. Yeah, what happens tomorrow?
So, Doc,
I
love your story.
Yeah.
I hope somebody sees the journey through you. You spent roughly about 9 years with Plan.
Yes, I did.
And I'm glad that you shared that story because I know many people don't know that part of you.
Yeah.
Something changed about your philosophy of education. Mm-hmm. So let's use the Zambia scenario.
Yeah.
You have sat in the classroom.
Yeah.
You have sat as a head of school.
Yeah.
You have sat at policy level.
Yes.
And I have followed your thought pattern and your philosophies. What changed with our system, with your beliefs?
Okay, great. I think that's a powerful question. First of all, the beginning of the transition was when I was attending a global learning meeting. We call them learning meetings. Mm-hmm. And I remember one man from the donor side. Plan is divided into two: donor countries and the benefiting countries.
Okay.
So there's a program country and a national office. National office are the guys who raise the money. Program country is where implementation is done. Okay. Now, in that meeting, we were lambasted as program countries that we were a bottomless pit. Yeah.
Just like that?
Yeah, that there was a lot of money being raised, but our literacy levels were not improving. Mm-hmm. Our pass rates were not improving, and everything was not okay. Where was the problem? Should Plan continue to support education in Africa? Asia was slightly better. They were doing better than us. So everyone was very apologetic, but that sent me thinking. It sent me thinking, is the problem with the African child or the African school? And something just struck me. Again, childhood issues. Anything that hits me, I want to say it. So I said, look, I don't think the problem is with the African. I think the problem is the imposition of an education system which has no value for an African.
How was that received?
Yes. Now, that was in Cairo, in Egypt, in a very big hall. And I gave an illustration. I said, look, if I'm driving to Alexandria in my own car and I run out of fuel, then you come with fuel. Then you tell me, don't go to Alexandria using my fuel, go this way. Whose journey am I undertaking?
Yours.
So that caused a stare. And I remember someone raised the question and said, can you explain what you're saying? I said, look, if I were to go back to Africa and tell a child in Southern Province, I'm going to teach you how to fatten a bull so that it pays you more than what you get when you take it to 10 pipe. If I go to Eastern Province and tell the child, I'll teach you how to create value from groundnuts, I don't think they'll fail those exams. But if I'm going to force a foreign language on them and measure their intelligence
on that,
on how well they can spell your language, okay. If I'm going to impose on a Christian child to memorize Islam, where is the interest?
Yeah.
Where is the motivation? I mean, what drives them to see value in this thing? So if we can have people raising money and allowing us to have an education that has direct benefit to an African, you're going to see different results. Whew. Everyone thought I was going to be fired.
Because I was thinking, did that get you fired?
Everyone thought I was going to be fired. But luckily there was a man, Francis Satya, doctor. This man said, look, I've worked for Plan for 18 years. No one has ever challenged us. You know, I've worked for Plan. I'm from the Global Office, IH in UK. I have never heard anyone speak for Africa in this way. So we are going to talk to your country director, meaning my country director. We want you to attend all global meetings.
Okay.
So that's how my flying, Satya didn't know that I was actually receiving my blessing for waiting that long to fly around. So that's what took me to Latin America to see what they do in Paraguay, in Brazil, in whatever. That's what took me to Bangladesh to see how the Banglas do their things, to India, to all those 10 states.
So you've seen all those?
I've been to all these places. I've been African countries. I've been everywhere. And for education.
What's the biggest challenge with our education system? I know you've highlighted to say we are implementing something that is not meant for us. Is there room for us to change?
There is room. The first question you're asking is, what is wrong with our education? First of all, we need to go back to what the real meaning of education is. Education is not about feeding a mind. It's about drawing out.
Yeah.
Okay, if you look at the original Latin,
enlightenment,
it's about bringing out. So when we say bring out, what do we mean? People are born naturally endowed. People are born naturally endowed. They already have the endowments. They already have the capacities. But those capacities are in potential form. You know, they are stored energy. You know, they are
have to realize them.
They are energy not in use. The work of society, including school, is nurture. N-U-R-T.
Yes. I remember that debate, nature and nurture.
To awaken. That's the work of education, to awaken those endowments. Now, first of all, the first weakness of our education system is to treat everyone the same. You know, we all walk into a classroom, we are all expected to be mathematicians. We all walk into a classroom, we're all expected to be. And that is why, is it Albert Einstein or one of these old thinkers? He said, look, if you are going to treat monkeys like fish, you're going to live all your life thinking monkeys are dull. They are created to climb trees. They're not created to swim. You know? Now, our education system wants to treat everyone like they have the same endowments. So that is why in the era of 9 subjects, best 6 including English, we wanted everyone to be the same. Weakness number 1.
Okay.
That's the first weakness. Secondly, education is about helping an individual to make sense of their environment. It's about helping an individual to make sense of their environment. So if you live in Luapula, what would make a Luapula person thrive? If you live in Namwala, and that is why I love the Namwala people. You know, no wonder the colleagues there will tell you, look, grade 6 have stopped school.
So do you, so on that one, because you hear reports, one of the reasons why there's been the feeding program, because kids would want to go and look at avenues that would gain them a livelihood. And you find that the numbers are dwindling. If you go to this place where they found God, the report was that kids are not, grade 7s are not reporting 2 weeks before exam.
They stop school.
Exactly. So do you support that? Are you saying we should channel our systems to support what the people are kind of telling us to say? Look, if you put me into copper production, I was in Chingola, if the education system is taking me there, I will thrive more. Is that a solution that you're proposing?
I'll take you to the Bible. What are you created for? Dominion.
Dominion, yes.
Dominion. And there's areas of dominion are specified. Dominion over fish.
Land
dominion
animals.
over birds.
Yeah.
Dominion over cattle, animals. Dominion over all the earth. So, education that makes sense is one that creates a person who can dominate something.
Okay.
That is why it is a crime for a country like Zambia not to have mining as a subject. It's absolute madness.
In the schooling system, not as a course. Many
you can't have mining appearing in subjects just mentioning where minerals are found. That's nonsense. Okay, look, I get upset when
I can see. yes.
You can't, that kind of madness. You can't have, Luapula has manganese, it has sujirite, it has gold. So what? Mining must be taught as a subject. First of all, what is this mineral? What does it do? What value does it have?
Yeah.
The person who comes here to get it, where does he take it?
Okay.
You can't have fishing. You are studying fishing in Canada. Look, you're studying fishing in Canada. Are you serious? Okay. Fishing must be a subject.
Okay. Doc, let me stop you in your tracks. Let's create a curriculum or subject. Let's just lay subjects.
Yeah.
Let's pick a province. Pick a province.
Yeah, very simple.
Yes.
Mathematics, very important,
Yes.
but it must be called applied mathematics.
Okay. So that
Don't force
contextualized.
everyone to study Pythagoras theorem. There are people who just need mathematics for addition and subtraction because they'll just be spending money and earning money. They don't need all those angles you waste their time doing. Tell me what I'm benefiting from the logarithms I did. Nothing.
So
Absolutely.
to argue that point.
So applied mathematics, learners that are going to do business, they must do business mathematics.
Okay.
Learners that are going to do medicine, there's mathematics for medicine. Learners that are going to be architects, there's mathematics for architects. So don't tell me I got a 9 in mathematics because you are forcing me to memorize things I don't appreciate. Language, very important. But it must never be compulsory that I must pass English. Chinese come into this country without Bemba, without English, and own a manganese mine using sign language. Look, you're not going. Okay. You need language, basic communication.
Communicate, because that's the essence.
That's the essence.
It's just
basic communication.
Okay.
Basic communication. You need that for everybody. You need education that espouses values. Don't call it RIE. Religious education. Why should I study religions? If anything, with my understanding now, one of the most dangerous things on earth is religion.
How so?
It paralyzes people's thinking. It doesn't set people free. It actually enslaves people. Religious people are slaves. From every angle.
From every angle.
Look, do you know
are you religious?
Do you know why Jesus came to destroy religion?
Okay, yes.
He came to teach the truth, not religion. Religion is a set of doctrines, many of them man-made. And that's why Jesus said, these people teach traditions of men for doctrine.
Okay. And with religion, we all pick what favors.
Exactly. And that is why you defend your church more than you defend God. Okay, so for me, remove religious education. I don't need to know Hindus. Look, if I want to know Hinduism, libraries have literature. Teach me how to read. I'll read on my own. But don't make me wake up at night to study gods of Hindus. And you call it an exam?
Should it be examinable?
No, it shouldn't. For what? What's the benefit? So for me, we should teach values. Young people should understand integrity. Young people should understand honesty. Young people should understand this because they're important for business. They're important for life.
Yeah.
Okay. We should include in the values emotional intelligence because that's what is missing.
Yeah.
Emotional intelligence must be part of this value-based education. But look, our education system creates people who can win arguments and lose people because they're emotionally down.
Yeah. Eish.
It makes
Where are you?
You have people who can debate and win arguments, but emotionally they're not available. Okay? So if we can have emotional intelligence, you are very sure suicide cases will go down. You are very sure young people will know who to befriend. You are very sure they can provide leadership because they're emotionally
Stable.
intelligent.
Yeah.
They're emotionally stable. So put that. Once you have this applied mathematics, language and the values, we must now go to livelihood.
Okay.
That's what we have on earth. It's livelihood. And under livelihood, that's where now we can say, okay, so Western province. What is it that the environment supports for a Westerner to thrive on? And the value chain is very long. Very, very long. That is why I'm happy that now we are talking regional economies. I hope education can handle that.
Yeah.
You know, regional economies. So we now need to say, okay, so fish farming. Do you really need a government ban? Or do you need to understand that there's a time when I should let fish breed? Not that I should have people patrolling on water. This is all signs of illiterate, educated people. You don't need to do that.
Yeah.
You don't need to do it. People should just know that no one slaughters a chicken which is brooding eggs because you have no chicks. It's the same on the water. But we need to inculcate those values early on in life. You know, if you are in Namala, let's talk about the value chain of beef, the value chain of milk, this whole value chain, you know, so that then these learners from the outset are now understanding when I sell a bull to Zambia, I give them one price. When Zambia slaughters the bull, everything is sold separately.
Yeah. Value addition.
Even the horns, which are not counted when I'm selling my bull.
Yeah, just say it's not meat. Yeah.
Exactly. It's not meat. So if we can have that kind of system, then we are moving forward. And that's why from the Build Zambia perspective, you can talk about competence-based curriculum if we have not defined the competencies. If you still think rewriting question tags is a competence, she can jump, can't she? And you if you and you wake up in the morning to go and teach that
And mark.
and gather as senior education officials to evaluate the pass rate. That's why you have so many people passing exams and failing life. Look, so we need to move in that direction.
Okay.
Where now we say, okay, mathematics, yes, because you are going to need it. Applied mathematics, yes. You are going to need language. You are going to need values and emotional intelligence. But now we need livelihood. Livelihood. The last subject is financial literacy.
So that's 5.
That's what we need. That completes a human being. Financial literacy. Financial literacy, you know, the Bible is very clear. A feast is made for laughter, wine maketh merry, but money answers all things.
Yeah.
All this thing of teachers are highly indebted is financial illiteracy. You know, all this thing people are broke, no money can't be, it's financial illiteracy. So under financial literacy, that's why now you are teaching things like, what is poverty? Define it. What is it?
In the truest sense.
Yeah, what is poverty? Is it just material inadequacy? What exactly is poverty? This is why you bring in things like resource mobilization. So that all these lies about resources are inadequate. That's nonsense. Who told you resources are inadequate? Resources are God-made, and God does not create shortages. Okay? You have a mobilization weakness, which you think makes resources unavailable.
And that gap makes you believe that.
Makes you believe that. You know, so you go to UNZA, do economics, and you are convinced resources are inadequate. No, that's a lie. That is a lie. Genesis 1, verse 1 to verse 25 lists all the resources God created. There is no wealth on earth that can be created outside that list.
So have we been reading the Bible in the wrong way or understanding
Because
it
you are
wrongly?
religious. It's just people like me who are set free, who read that book correctly. Look. The greatest problem is when you think the Bible is a book that teaches you how to be in heaven. No, the Bible is a manual for how to live on earth.
For here.
Who told you need a Bible in heaven? It's a book for earth. That's a book that teaches you why you are here, how long you'll be here, and where you are going from here. It has nothing to do with any other place in the outer space. It is a book for earth. Read it from Genesis. It's a book for earth. It teaches you how to live here.
So can we say that because of that, others have taken advantage of us?
Yeah, I mean, we are gullible. We are easy to be lied to. And it was very easy. I mean, the same history you study without questioning.
Yeah.
You know, I shudder today to find a teacher still teaching our children how the Berlin Conference was held and how it has kept us to where we are. Without going to application, how do we begin to run away from these lies that were peddled in the Berlin Conference? But in the Berlin Conference, they agreed very clearly. Take a curriculum to Africa that will create memorizers, not thinkers. You know, people who remember everything, no matter how useless it is. And no questioning mind. No one should question anything. And that is why many years ago, you remember grade 7, there used to be a question, who was the first man to visit the Victoria Falls? And including teachers, we all believed it was David Livingstone.
And would mark it.
No one ever questioned, but who took David Livingstone there? Were they monkeys or men?
Our very own.
Okay? So we have that challenge. So it's this misunderstanding. And religion has been one of the greatest sleeping tablets for Africa. That is why if you're looking for poor people who refuse to think, go to church. No, do people think in church? Look, I've always said Muslims leave their shoes at the door. Christians leave their brains at the door.
Look at you. Doc, there's a lot to chew on. Let's answer the how question. How then are we going to raise a generation? Look at these young people.
Yes.
Who will, I'm an educator. I'm running a school. And I'm thinking, look, I need to do something. But I'm still working in the space where we still have these policies which are guiding everything. So how then do we make these minds become maverick? Even in the same system, they can ask why. We don't teach them truth, but we teach them to seek truth.
Exactly.
How do we do that?
Well, I mean, you are not the only one in that space. What did St. Paul's do to me? St. Paul's taught me that no normal person buys what he can produce.
Ooh.
Okay.
And it's with you today.
St. Paul's taught me that.
Yeah.
It was outside the proconsul, the Home Habilis, it was outside all that. I walked out of St. Paul's knowing that cabbages are not in shops, they grow in the land. I walked out of St. Paul's knowing that eggs are not in ShopRite, they are laid by chickens. Okay, so I got that. I'll give you an example. Great North Road Academy. I mean, what Rosias is trying to do. What is Rosias trying to do? He's inculcating this kind of thinking early on. Okay, the challenge that we are faced with is rigidity. You know, I sit with Dr. Mambwe, PS Technical.
Yes. Kevin Mambwe.
Kevin, very good man. Him and I studied languages at Unza. You know, we are all Shakespearean. We speak very good English. You know, we did that together. But I've talked to Kevin and said, look, Mr. Mambwe, you and me know that this can't develop the country. You and me know it. You know, and that is why when you hear the country is now moving towards irrigation, Presidential Irrigation Initiative.
Yes, I saw
and
that.
they are now saying, here's money, let there be production unit in schools. You know where the problem is? Rigidity in the system. So you have a president who himself is a businessman and understands that money is not made by how well you can read, but by how much you can produce.
Yeah.
So he supports this. But the rigidity, you are going to get into a school where some headmaster will say, look, grade 12s can't go to the garden, they are preparing for exams. So you would rather they pass English and fail food production. You know, we are a country where you want to treat home economics like an inferior subject. You treat home economics as an inferior subject, immediately you leave work, you are going to a restaurant. You know, why are you doing that? You know, so for me, in that 5 sets of subjects we talked about, we should be combining agricultural sciences for production, home economics is for value addition. These must be one subject. One is emphasizing production, one is emphasizing value addition. That's what they are. You know, but you have this isolation. No, this school already has home economics, it can't have agric. So what will home economics be cooking if you're not producing? You know, and if agric is going
so it's
to
redundant in principle.
It's the rigidity. It's the rigidity, you know. And I'll share this with colleagues at Ministry of Education because we now have forward-thinking people. And what we need to do now is eliminate the rigidities.
Yeah.
We need to eliminate. Zambia is 61 years old.
Yeah.
Don't tell me if you fail English, you are down. Then you who is saying that you are down. Okay? Don't tell me if you fail English, you are down. No. Please, no.
Build Zambia, 2064. So when you give the keynote in Zimbabwe, I was seated. There was one of your old folks, your senior colleagues, was saying, you know, I like Joseph, but his vision is too far. Why 2064? He won't even be there that time. Why didn't he do 2030? You know how we have SDG, these 2030s.
Yeah.
What's the place of education, according to you, in this vision of Build Zambia?
Good. Correct education is the drive of this vision. And correct education is not classroom education. It is not age education. Correct education is transformation of people's thinking. And without mind transformation, I know in Zambia it's very easy. Why are people, problem is mindset. Look, we now need to get people to understand that the starting point to changing your life is to eliminate the couch of dependency. You know, because one of the greatest weaknesses of Africans and Zambians specifically is parasitical thinking.
Yeah.
You know, where you think your problems are not your fault, and so it is not your responsibility to finish
Everyone else's.
You know, no, it's no. What is the MP doing about this? Or no, what is, you know? We have that kind of thinking. You know, you throw banana skins in the drainage, you throw papers, you throw everything. Then we have a flood in the first rain. You forget what you threw. You believe the council has gone to sleep. You believe. So it's that kind of, it's a transformation. It's a transformation. We talk a lot about Singapore, Malaysia, Dubai. We talk a lot about these people. What is it that they did? They changed the
mindset.
Thinking. It's the mindset. So if beginning at household level, we can educate people who get rid of the culture of dependency. If we can educate people who get rid of an entitlement mentality, if we can have people who believe I am on earth to add value, then we are moving in the right direction. You know, the situation where we think that to be in school, you know, and I'll digress a bit. I have a young good friend who was at NRDC, and then Israel came to advertise. The nation of Israel came to advertise. We need some students to come and do an additional course in Israel. So I asked this young lady when she came back, so how was Israel? She says, look, shocking. I said, what was shocking? That look, we got into class. Day one, we were told this orientation. They gave us a timetable, and there was only 1 day for class.
In the entire week?
In the entire week. 1 day for class. So because there they work 6 days. Sunday, you are sorting bananas. Monday, you are selecting oranges, grading oranges and all that. Wednesday, you are at the fish farm. Thursday, you have class to review what you have done. Friday, half day, you are looking at value addition. Where are these things we packaged going? Mm-hmm. For a full year. For a full year. I would invite that young lady here. Her name is Royce. She can tell you these stories about what happened in Israel.
Yeah.
When she came back, did she look for a job?
No.
She bought land in Magoe. Yeah. Using her initiative, she has stamped that land. And then she was saying, look, the trees that we cut on the place I want to grow things, I don't want to waste them. So capital will come from charcoal. She's doing that. This charcoal will sink a borehole for me. If we had NRDC doing that. Look, how can a 40-year-old man go to UNZA and be sitting in class the whole day? Who is working for him? Who is feeding him?
He's upgrading.
Who is upgrading what?
You're
already a downgraded person. But look, if at that age, you can be sitting the whole day and you have a stomach and you have other people that look to you for survival and you are sitting in class, not being productive, to what end? What are you trying to do? Look, I'll be honest, this is satanic.
What is satanic?
The whole system, which makes people useless, artificially intelligent, with no evidence that they are normal human beings. You can't do that. You can't.
So for 61 years,
yeah,
we have had it wrong according to you.
Not just according to me. There's evidence everywhere. Tell me, how much land does Zambia have? Tell me, how many minerals are in the earth of Zambia? Tell me, how much fresh water do we have running and in the ground and coming from the sky? Tell me, how stable is our climate? Tell me, which plant cannot grow in Zambia? Tell me, which animal cannot thrive here? Tell me where Mukula is, where Rosewood is. Tell me, if we have been correct, why is there poverty in Zambia?
He's very happy to have you here.
Tell me why there's poverty. Give me just one reason why we are poor, if we have had it correct. Just give me one reason and say, the reason we are poor is this. No, it's because garbage in, garbage out. The heads have been loaded with garbage. The most intelligent, good-thinking people have been removed from the villages, brought into the city to become workers.
In Zimbabwe, you said they're domesticated now.
These are domesticated human beings. So if we don't change that, and I'm being very sincere here, if we don't change that, there is no hope. Nothing will happen. Look, just to give you a glimpse of what happens when people are educated to use their resources, go to Mukushi Farm Block. Yeah. What do people pack in the yard? Planes. They don't pack bicycles and finished shoes. No. What do they use in Mukushi? Land and water. Go to Chisamba Farm Block here.
And whatever they're using is our disposal.
We have it. We have it. We have it. Why is everyone rushing to Zambia? Why are the Lebanese here? Why are the Chinese here? Why are the whites here? Everyone is coming here because this is where wealth is. Except that the secret is resources do nothing unless something is done to them. So we can be sitting on wealth. If we do nothing to it, it remains what it is. And then on the mobilization side, you've got to be aggressive.
Yeah.
The school system creates very relaxed people.
Docile.
It creates very docile people.
Yeah.
And that's why the missionaries came here to create docility. People who believe that prayer will answer poverty. It will never. Look, Elder, God can never do for man what he already gave him capacity to do for himself. So there's a lot of wasting time, just troubling your knees, going to mountains, overnight prayers, to do what?
When God has already...
What are you doing? That is why you are a prayer warrior, but you are employed by an Indian who worships an idol. Because look, it's your thinking. And God cannot step in and say, no, this one is my child. No, I mean, a fool is a fool. Yeah.
Cut or breathe. We can go on and on. Yeah. Under Build Zambia, you want to change people's minds. And I see you do training with people that have retired, are trying to do business, civil servants. If you were to make one recommendation that would transition and change Zambia from where it is to a superpower, what recommendation would you make?
We just need to do 3 things. Just those 3. Number 1. Mind transformation must become mandatory. So wherever a church meets, wherever a school meets, cabinet needs mind transformation.
In these
Those
spaces.
people you call ministers, honorable, whoever, they need mind. That parliament needs mind transformation. You're not going to have people who sit in that parliament and they don't know which laws will transform this country.
Okay.
You know, we need that. And we need a lot of MPs who understand that economic laws are more important than political laws. Economic laws.
Yeah.
We need that. We need people who go into that parliament and say, since production unit is now compulsory, ShopRite, Choppies, Pick and Pay, whoever it is, you are going to have shelves reserved for products from schools. If a school is growing bananas, they should not struggle with market. There's a shelf
ready waiting
reserved for schools.
That's brilliant. I like that.
We need a revolution like that.
Yeah. So the political willpower, influences.
So we need that. So don't think mindset is just for my village and Mongolia. It starts from the top.
Yeah, that's number 1.
If you have a wrong minister in a ministry, you're wasting your time. You know, so the minister there has to be challenged to start thinking. Permanent secretaries must be thinkers. Directors must not be by longevity in a system. It must be the ability to think.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Yes.
We need to make sure we convince every Zambian that food security at household level is a must.
Failure to which?
Look, we prosecute people that have accumulated wealth. We must prosecute people who keep children hungry. You cannot be punishing people for being rich. We must punish people for being poor where poverty should not exist. Okay.
That should be a crime.
It's a revolution.
Yeah.
It's a revolution. We need to ask. I mean, you live in Mafinga. Where's your chicken? But these kids need eggs.
And you don't have.
And you don't have a chicken. You live here. Where is the problem? Why don't you have a chicken? You know, in this family, why do you have 2 goats and yet you have 6 children? Look, possessions must be more than the people eat them. That's wealth.
Because the opposite.
You cannot have a family that has 6 children and they're keeping 2 chickens. That's a crime.
So it has to be the other way.
It has to be the other way. It has to be the other way. And we must make it that way. Headmen, chiefs. Look, when the colonialist was here, they used to visit these villages. District commissioner will come to your home and say, do you eat here? Yes. So after you have eaten and food has digested, where is the toilet? Yeah. Where is the toilet? If you have no pit latrine, you pay. They ask the old people. They'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Why did we remove that good law? These are the things that must come in. So food security must be mandatory. And food security must not mean maize. No. It must not mean maize. It must mean food. Where's your beans? Where are your eggs? Where's the chicken? Where is your maize? Where's your sorghum? Where's your millet? Where's your... Let there be food security at household level. You know why? Hungry people don't think. Because the moment you are hungry and you are food insecure, your brain shifts from the head to the stomach.
So every action is
you start thinking with your stomach. You cannot think of a good house, a good blanket, a good bed if you're still chasing food. No, you can't. You can't.
So if you if you stop chasing food,
then your eyes will open. Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
yeah.
Okay. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The moment you cover this space, your eyes will open. That's when you see that your house is not big enough for such a family because you are full. On an empty stomach, you can sleep like rats. You won't see anything wrong. I know this is painful, but look, only pain produces change. So you cannot. So until you are food secure, you will not understand anything else. So mind transformation, food security. The third, we need to go for business excellence. And when we talk about business excellence, what we should be saying now is, let us go back to school. No one should be in school because they want a job. Everyone should be in school because they want to learn how to create their job. Okay? Everyone should go to school. And the immediate thing is, when I'm old enough and I get out of here, how do I create my job? If we don't do that, we are going to continue year after year of every campaign, every election. We'll create jobs. We'll create jobs. We'll create jobs. No, we can't. We can't move.
No, we can't.
We can't. So if we can address these three things,
Zambia will be transformed.
These three are going to automatically answer the disposable income issue. They are going to create money for us. So, again, the answer is household level. If we don't deal with this at household level,
nothing will change.
We will continue believing that there is national poverty. Meanwhile, you are living with people who are leading a first world life in a poor country.
And those two cannot
We have
the
people
same place.
here who are leading first world life here in
a
this
poor country.
And the majority of them are our friends who chose to come and live with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're leading first world lives. First world. They have been to every tourist attraction without even thinking how much it costs.
Don't flinch.
You know, they've been all over. They fly around. They're going to Mansa. Just fly there. I'll come back in the evening. They live that life. And nothing wrong. We don't want to behave like our friends who think foreigners are taking things from us. No, nothing wrong. The Bible is very clear. To him who has, more shall be given. To him who doesn't, even the little shall be taken away from. You can't run away from that.
Yo. I hope, how much time have we done? 1 hour 40. Okay, we have to close, Doc. We have to close. I had one question, and it's a yes or no answer type of a question. Does Dr. Joseph Mushalika believe in education?
I wouldn't have anything to believe in if it wasn't education. I believe 100% in education.
Well, you heard it for yourselves, not from me, but from the man himself. Doc, Ash. Yeah, you've pushed me.
You're free to go.
Yeah. No, I'm enlightened, and I think people have misunderstood you.
Yeah.
But sitting across you from where you are, I think I really get what really bends in you, and I'm grateful. I know somebody who's going to love this episode, like truly love this episode. Somebody who believes close the classrooms. No child should write what they've not done with their hands. And I know they will like this. And I'm picking that from you. Any questions? Anything? I know we've taken, anything from you? And if possible, we might even do part 1, part 2. Yes. Yeah. Kato. Wait. Yes, go ahead.
Good. Was it to go? Okay, great. This is really a powerful episode. I think there's something that we do share in common in terms of thought. Last time there's an episode where I said we cannot solve a black man's problem with a white man's solution. And in lines with that, we agree. But I've got rather a counter question, and I want to see how you are going to tackle this. We've got 10 provinces in Zambia, isn't it? So our thought is around each province must have a tailor-made curricula so that we can bring the best out of that province. Then we come back to policy. You've been exposed to policy at a global stage. From what you've said, it's something that is possible. So for me, who's got a background in finance, my counter question would be, how financially feasible is it in a country like Zambia for us to channel resources so that we can have an educational system that is tailor-made around those thoughts? They're beautiful on paper, but let's look at reality now.
Practicality.
Yeah.
Very good question. Look, you are spending a lot of money on useless education. Why can't you channel the same money to use it for education? We will only have financial challenges if we want to run both the dead and the living at the same time. All right?
So we choose who to give.
We already have the money. Are we not spending money on education? We are. And that's why I liked it when he said heavily misunderstood. I love it because that is evidence of some value. Because even Jesus was heavily misunderstood to a level where he was crucified. I'm very comfortable with being misunderstood. And it helps people catch up. But talking about, is it financially feasible? Are schools running in Zambia? Yes. Using which money? Same money. All we are saying is the money is already there. It's like at home deciding today we are not eating rice. We are eating cassava. You can't start asking where do we find the pots for cassava. The same ones which cook rice.
Should cook the cassava. You got to the answer. Well, we'll go on and on. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a great time. I've had a great time. And trust me, Doc, you are grooming an educationist in me that is going to take on this legacy. Thank you for the work you do. And I know that we may not appreciate you, but there are people that are banging on your door to say, this is the shift that we need. Even in the age of AI, we still need this mindset shift. Thank you very much for making this episode great. I'm going to watch this 5 times. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to say thank you. Remember, give us a comment, give us a feedback. We are short of a few likes or subscriptions to make 2,000 on YouTube. 90. The previous episode have really pushed us, and people are noticing what we're doing. And when I say people are noticing, policymakers, I had a judge call and say, keep up the good work, which is good. We cannot reach certain heights without you. So this is your podcast, and please let us know whom next you want us to come on the platform. Until next time, the education agenda continues. Signing out.